this time last year, he looked like he didn't have the defensive instinct to play in a back four. Suddenly he feels like you're really going to miss him because he's so broad. What's changed, and how do you take what he had and turn it into a successful format?
Yeah, I think. Look, I think he's. I've said with him and a number of the players, it starts with them, of them understanding and appreciating the fact that they need to keep improving as players, and not. Sometimes when you get to the Premier League and you get to a big club, you kind of feel like, okay, well, that's me. I'm good enough now, and kind of you soon realise that you need to keep growing, you need to keep pushing yourself, you need to keep developing, and Pedro certainly has from the start of the year. Obviously, positionally it's changed for him a little bit, probably drastically, because for the most part he's played either as a fullback or as a wing back more, and he's got unbelievable technical ability, and I think that was people kind of use that in their wherever sort of system he played in. But with us, you've got to defend as well, especially as a fullback, and a lot of times you've got to defend that one-on-one, and he loves that aspect of it. And I've said before, Wellesley has done a lot of work with him and all the back four, not just as a unit but individually, to really embrace the challenge of being a one-on-one defender. And you can see that now, that maybe in the past, maybe because people kind of highlighted it as a so-called weakness in his game, it was stuff that he kind of avoided a little bit, but now he's really relishing in that battle, and he's had great growth, and again, still young enough where his best years are definitely ahead of him, and again he's laid a strong foundation for what's ahead.
Can I also ask, do you have any plans to get a game in then when you don't have a game next week?
No,
we
we won't get time off, but we'll sort of arrange our training. We'll, for the most part, I always find that sometimes you play, if you arrange sort of a training game or a friendly game with somebody else, you don't get the intensity. I think if we do sort of an internal game, I think we'll get more out of it. So that's the plan at this stage.
And if I may, that's one more. The Sonny story breaking his finger with ping pong, playing ping pong or at South Korea. It's made a few people smile for different reasons. I know you've not lost him, which is great. But do you have any memories from your career of injuries that didn't sort of happen?
Yeah, I think you got a few stories confused there. I don't think he got injured playing ping pong. Is that what you're suggesting? Or? No. Yeah. I mean, I don't have any strange stories about that stuff. But Sonny's great. It's great to have him back. He obviously gave everything for his country. Fell short in terms of their goals, and it's been great to have him back around the group. And in terms of the incident, I think it's been handled. That's for the sort of Korean Football Federation to kind of handle. What I know of the story, and I haven't asked too much about it, I don't know the detail. I think it was just Sonny being Sonny, being a leader, and I think when you're a leader, sometimes you get in the firing line. Paul?
I wanted to ask you about your home form, which is really good for this season. Is that one of the things you're most pleased about? You noticed it's only staying into a bit of a fortress?
Yeah, I think it's important. Again, it's kind of historically I've felt if you can have strong form, it kind of means two things. One is, you kind of get the people who are most important, the supporters, right behind you, because it's great winning away and you kind of share it with a small group of travelling support, but there's nothing like when your fans come to the stadium and see you win and have that feeling after the game. It just brings the teams closer. The sort of two sides of the players and our fans. So I think it is important, and I think over a course of a season, irrespective of who you play, when you play away from home, there's always a challenge there. So you've got to try and take advantage of kind of the stuff that you're kind of, for want of a better term, comfortable with. Whether you come to the stadium, there's easy access because you got a car park. You're not travelling on a bus. You know the dressing room. You know the people there. Everyone sort of. So you've got to transfer that obviously into performances, and if you can do that helps you, because like I said, invariably you're going to get some challenges away from home that sometimes make it difficult to achieve a result. So I've always put great stock in trying to have really strong home performances. Mainly, like I said, because of the fans. I think you build a bond quicker when that happens.
So that bond seems to be really strong at the moment, particularly as always been the way in the team coming in your bond team, probably one of the strongest. How do you work on building that, and how much stronger do you make you as a team?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a conscious effort. But what I do know is that for most fans, they're passionate about their football club. What they want to see is if they see a real, concerted effort of a commitment to something, then for the most part they'll back that. Because ultimately they want to be represented out on the football field, and when you want to be represented, you want to know that those that are wearing that, that jumper are giving everything. Because for our supporters, in a sense, that's what they feel. They're making a huge commitment. It's a lifelong commitment to their club. And whilst we as sort of managers or players, whoever we are, we don't have that lifelong commitment for the most part. We're here for a short amount of time. They want to see that sort of effort anyway, like that sort of commitment. And so I think they've seen it with our players. I think, we've lost, I think, 3 games here at home, but even in those games they saw the players giving it all and giving everything they can for the team and trying to play football in a way that our supporters respond to. So like I said, that's what builds a bond. I don't think it's words, I don't think it's gimmicks, I don't think it's trying to sort of create something artificial. I just think it's supporters seeing those who represent them giving everything for their football club.
Okay, we'll go John and then finish with Dom, please.
Just to return to the ping pong incident, obviously it's a funny story, it's a bizarre story, but it's also about discipline and respect and team bonding. Is that the sort of captaincy you can get behind?
Yeah, look, like I said, I don't want to talk about it because I don't know all the details. I don't really want to know. It's kind of an internal matter. But like I said before, I think what I know of the story is, Sonny showing leadership, and that's what leadership's about. Leadership's not about being popular or trying to make everyone happy. It's about, if you see something that you don't think is right, that you stand up for it because you feel it's the best thing for the group, and whatever that case may be. And I see that in Sonny. I think sometimes people mistake him with Sonny because he's such a positive guy. Whenever you see him, he's smiling, and everyone has a real affection for him. But he wants to win. He doesn't like standards slipping. I've seen him do it around here. And with Romero obviously in matters, but especially Sonny. If something's not right, he'll say it. And sometimes it's not really the popular thing to do, but I think for the most part, players and people who follow him respect that, and that's what you need to do. And as I said before, sometimes that puts you in the firing line with the playing group, sometimes puts you in the firing line with the coaches, sometimes puts you in the firing line with the club. But as a leader, if you believe that this is the right thing to do, then you should stay strong in it, and I think Sonny has those characteristics.
I wasn't going to say that because everybody sees him as a smiley, he isn't obviously a nice guy, but that was sort of Roy Keane-esque.
You're saying Roy Keane's not a nice guy? Just to be clear, you said Roy Keane is not a nice guy. Yeah, okay. Look, I think you just got to be yourself. That's what leadership's about. You can't copy. Sonny by nature he's a nice guy. He's very polite. He's very respectful. Doesn't mean you can't be a real winner and sort of a guy who has high standards, because he wouldn't be playing at this level for so long unless he did. There's a real discipline that you need to last this long, and especially in the Premier League, in a position that he plays, there's a real discipline and in a sort of drive to have high standards, and I think that transfers to leadership. And I've seen all kinds of leaders, and the best ones are the ones who are themselves, because I think people respect that. When you try and put it on and try and be somebody else, then I think people see through that pretty quickly.
Did you know that about him before?
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, obviously, I followed him pretty closely from, career in the national team, and being an adversary, and knowing how well respected he was in the game in that part of the world, I knew that that's the kind of person he was. And I obviously knew a few people here at Tottenham as well, and they all spoke in the same sort of way about him.
Dom, to finish, please.
It's just a question on Ibra Suma. He hasn't started for you for 2 months. It's been a slightly stop-start period for him. Obviously, he's probably had the suspensions as well. But how much are you looking forward to having him available again for a sort of extended period now towards the end of the season?
Yeah, as you said, it was pretty hard to start him when he was at AFCON and he was suspended. So it's great to have him back. And look, it's fair to say, I think with Bess, he's probably a little bit frustrated at the way the season's gone, because the start of his season was outstanding for us, and he was a big part of sort of why we got off to a flyer. The first 10 games, his ability to sort of really, was really early on. I could see that the way we played, it really suited him, and he really sort of thrived in that responsibility in that role. So. The fact that he's back, obviously, coming back from the tournament, him and Sonny and even Pape, I was wary about throwing him in straight away, knowing that, how difficult those tournaments can be in the travel. But he's ready to go. He's had a good week of training, and looking forward, like I said, with him and Rodri, and obviously Matt is now back. Lo Celso is now available. Skippy and Pierre, we're looking really strong through there, not just to start games, the ability for us to change games, and I think that's going to be a real big part of us having a strong finish to the season.
Thanks very much. Thanks, guys.